Hello and welcome to the Official Watches YouTube channel here at Jardin du Mayfair, heaven on earth for the watch enthusiast. I am so excited to be bringing you the world's first Rolex 1908 on Settimo bracelet. Now at Watches and Wonders 2025, while the Land Dweller was the new brand celebrity of the show, those sneaky Pete's at Rolex released a Settimo bracelet variant of the 1908. First launched in 2023, the new Rolex 1908 range replaces the outgoing Cellini collection and is positioned to offer the brand's dress watch option. Although I'm admittedly a huge fan of the professional range, the Crown played a blinder back in the 1960s when their marketing man of the hour, Rene Paul Jeanneret, began to float the idea that perhaps one Rolex just wasn't enough. He suggested that while buyers should of course be buying their tool watches from the brand, they should also consider another Rolex for more formal purposes. In short, one was not enough for the average man. You needed a workhorse and a show pony, and the Cellini line was ready and waiting to fill the formal watch spot for those inclined to build a collection to cover all the bases. The premise in the intervening 60 years has remained very much the same, but as the interest in steel do-it-all pieces rose and in the world became more casual, the dedication to precious metal formal watches waned, as did the popularity of the Cellini. As style always ebbs and flows, interest in dress pieces has picked up again alongside the rise in vintage re-editions and dapper watches for the discerning Don Drapers around town. So it comes as no real surprise that Rolex has retired the aging Cellini in favour of a refreshed range of classic pieces in the form of the 1908, named after the founding year of the Crown. The model line is 39mm in size and precious metal only, which is really the only acceptable material for dress watches, and is delivered with three metal choices: yellow gold, white or black dial, white gold with white or black dial, and a beautiful platinum with an ice blue guilloche dial, which is a bit of a brand signature. I'm not usually a follower of new is best, but in the case of the 1908 on Settimo bracelet, it really is the one to go for in my opinion. Now, I'm not a big dress watch guy, I will admit that, but I would wear this thing and I would wear it well. I'd love to know what you guys think of the 1908 on Settimo, and I'm going to tell you 4 compelling reasons why I prefer it. The new bracelet design is phenomenal. I have a pre-existing love-hate relationship with alligator straps. I love the longevity, but I do not love the gloss and the formality. It is always better to go for a bracelet variant on any watch. That's just my opinion. You can pick up straps after should you want to later. The new bracelet design is phenomenal, guys. It's a 7-link construction with each mirror polished link being perfectly rounded, so not only does it drape like silk, it also glistens and glitters, which creates a beautiful series of shimmers with movement. It has a real vintage throwback feel, and it feels like dress watches that have straddled the line between tools and jewellery. The concealed clasp adds to this sensation, with the only noticeable disruption in the smooth texture being applied to the Rolex crown, which makes up this flip to open mechanism. The whole thing is robust, tactile and indescribably elegant, even down to the delicately curved end links. Not only is the construction a point of interest, but also the softer sheen of the metal in the 1908 yellow gold offers a far less jarringly sort of gold look, and I have to say it's nicer than the gold on the Daytona, which I gotta be honest, I was not expecting. I'm not sure if Rolex has been up to some alchemy in their foundry, or whether the slimness or simplicity of the design has calmed the gold down overall, but nonetheless it's noticeably easier on the eye, and the mellow tone suits the old world feel of this watch to a T. Speaking of not jarring, the dial is white, but most certainly not a flat, bright white. It is an opaline that has a soft sheen to it, which Rolex says it created using a process called magnetron sputtering, which is a type of physical vapor deposition, which creates a film or a coating that is applied using magnetic fields to control the spread of charged ion particles. Very sciencey, but very cool on the wrist. I actually dramatically prefer it to black dials, which I do realise is controversial on a dress watch, but hey, we're in 1908 Settimo territory. Choose the one you love and wear it proud. Presumably, in this case, the application of off-white paint that has just enough texture to capture reflections and light play incredibly well. The dial also features a vintage black railroad minute track around both the outer edge of the dial, and the same is found around the small seconds at 6. The applied indices are a mix of batons and Arabics for the 3, 9 and 12 and are made up from polished 18 karat gold. Up close with a loop, they are exceptionally well finished and due to their elevation cast some really subtle but incredibly charming shadows, which contribute to the dial being classic but with enough twists to keep a modern wearer entertained. The dial even sports an open 9, which is beloved of vintage watch collectors who tend to play spot the open 6s and 9s on the date wheels of their vintage Rolexes. What a touch. The polished handset is suitably old world with zero lume and an observatory style hour hand. The ridge down the centre of each hand catches the light well, making it very easy to read in all but the darkest conditions. The handset is also capped, which rather speaks to the level of finishing that's going on here. Make no mistake, the 1908 is a spectacular and restrained watch from the crown, and give them absolute credit where it's due. Even though it's a fit of the dress watch category, it could easily double as a classy daily wearer. I'm thinking some linen shorts, a little linen shirt, and actually this thing will come together nicely. It doesn't have to be a tuxedo watch, and that's what I love about the 1908. But we're not here to say what I like about it. I want to know what you like about it. So let me know in the comments, and thank you for joining me here at Jardin du Mayfair. Heaven on earth for the watch enthusiast, and I will see you on the next one.